Oh, blessings, 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 blessings. Mm. Sending blessings. This beautiful sage blessings, blessings, blessings out and beyond to all who would receive it. To all who would receive it. Blessings on this beautiful, beautiful day. Take it in. I tell you, what a time for it too. What a time for it too, right after this full moon that we just had. Really big, powerful time of completion of cycles. And we know with the completion of cycles comes the beginning of new ones. When we do our work and we are honest with ourselves, which is half the work within the work, right? When we are being honest with ourselves as we move through our various timelines of healing, of growth, of cultivating sovereignty, independence, spiritual freedom, and liberation. When these new moon and full moon cycles occur, there can be such a shift in our biochemistry, in our neurology, and also, we know this, in the way that the universe then reflects itself back to us. And I know for me, I specifically set out to do work from that new moon to this full moon. And I don't know about you, but I'm feeling it. And I've felt it and I feel good. I feel good now. I'm curious to know how you're feeling and if you work with that moon energy as well. Welcome and blessings, everyone. I am Tuesday and this is 4D Trinity, my weekly live stream where we discuss everything spiritual, everything metaphysical, everything that aligns with serving your path of spiritual growth and sovereignty. And I just have a realization here. I have a different screen up. Let me bring up the YouTube screen. Blessings. There's a few folks here already. Nice. Yeah, this community is so powerful and I feel very blessed. So thank you everyone for showing up, for being present, and for participating and being a part of this. As always, I pray that everything I share serves your freedom, you know, and even on these days, once a month, where I do this show, Q&A, ask me anything. And I mean anything. It is my job to take with sincerity those questions that you ask, that you pay forward, and also to answer from a place of fourth dimensional consciousness. So the title of this show, and we don't go too far away from it at all on our Q&A days, 4D Trinity, right? We're bridging fourth dimensional consciousness through cultivating the unity of mind, body, and emotions. And it's through creating that unity, that divine alignment of mind, of body, of emotions, that we gain entryway into a realm of the heart, into the realm of truth, of love, of light, of a consciousness that is in the world and not of it. And so I thank you and I welcome you. I'm going to begin to post weeks in advance or month in advance the titles of our 4D Trinity shows that we will have upcoming for the month. And so just to give you a little sneak peek, next week, our title is Live Like You're Gonna Die. Give it all away. Give it all you got. And the week after that, it's Levity versus Gravity. The week after that, the Metaphysics of Willingness. And then we're going to be up again for another Q&A 4DT. So we lit our sage I see there's a few folks' questions or comments here in the comment box. There were a few questions that came through in the email, which I will discuss, that are very specifically aligned to Reiki, which I love sharing in that realm. What I do when we go in for our Q&A specifically on this show, and also when I work with clients, this rose quartz is a community stone that I use at workshops, community gatherings, Reiki circles, etc. It's used as a talking stone, but also it wants to be used here during our sessions. And so what it has me do is it has me, and I'm sharing this with you here now today, is it has me imagine that we are going into this rose quartz crystal to do all of our work, to share in all the ways that we will share, to discuss, to hold space together. And so for the highest good, all of that energy and information is held sacred in that place of that rose quartz. And then what happens is, accordingly, I cleanse that rose quartz and we do it all over again. So, and I know there have been meditations where I have called us in to go into that rose quartz. So I just wanted to explain to you my method and what's going on behind the scenes so you can be present with it. Let's have a look at the comments. Oh, April's here. Blessings. Ah, Shabana, welcome back. I'm very well. Wanted to know if RS misses me and when is he going to talk? Okay, I wear a rose quartz bracelet. Sweet. Well, blessings and welcome back. So Shabana, I think we're going to go ahead and get started with you, dear. Okay, so Shabana wants to know, I'll have to put the glasses on here for a second. I want to make sure I'm clear. If RS misses you, Shabana, and when is he going to talk? So, and just to let everyone know how I work here, when we do our Q&A, I channel your higher self, which is the collective higher self. It is the voice, the wisdom voice that connects us all through that divine guidance that is always aligned with the heart, with the truth of the heart, and with a higher consciousness. So everything, again, even on these Q&A days that I serve, will have a flavor of metaphysical alignment and an overview to it. It will always be rooted in the heart and in the higher good. And so I also use the Osho Zen Tarot as guided. And so let's take a moment here. And with our first question, I'm going to take a breath. And Shabana wants to know if RS is missing her and when are they going to talk? When is he going to talk? So let's begin by calling in our angels, calling in our guides. Now, we already had a card fly out. I'm going to wait a moment. We call in our guides. There's another couple cards. And all of the most high divine light beings to enter this gateway of the rose quartz cave with us, to surround us, to align us with the most high messages, with the most high ability to receive those messages. All highest glorious God, channel through me for the highest good and communicate the most high, the most perfect divination of guidance for all those seeking that today. We thank you in advance, our angels, our totems, our animal spirit guides, and all of those love and light beings who love us unconditionally. We thank you for holding space with us in the here and in the now. And so it is, and so it is. All right, so Shabana, whoa, okay, we had these two cards pop out, and these are major players. That's the Master card. This is like the highest card in the Osho Zen deck. That's Osho there. And then there's Harmony, which has to do with breathing and meditation. And then interesting, when I put the deck down, what's facing me, what's on the bottom of the deck, but past lives. So what I'm getting here, Shabana, is you both know each other from a past life. This is a continuation for you both. He in a 3D way. Okay, what I'm getting is kind of complex, because there's a sense that he thinks of you and he misses you, but not in the way that is conventional, because there is a deeper understanding within him that you do know each other from before. He feels familiar to you and you are familiar to him, and there's almost like a sense that he can relax, that he doesn't have to rush. He doesn't have to rush to gain your attention. He doesn't have to demand it. He doesn't have to push or pull to gain it. And with these two cards that fell out right away, this shows us that you are both operating from a higher level of consciousness when it comes to this connection, when it comes to this relationship. And so there is a sense of a divine patience that is at play here. There's a sense of both of you, actually, what I'm getting is being really mindful not to push, to allow a sacred space. And that feels that that is what is divinely guided. And each of these cards deeply represent meditation. What I'm getting is that you both have your own individual spiritual path. What I get is that you are that little bit more daily in your ceremony, daily practicing your meditation, daily doing your rituals or lighting your candles or saying your prayers, your affirmations, whereas he's just already there in a way. He's not to say that he doesn't say his prayers or have his spiritual moments and tidings, yet what I'm getting is for you, you're holding space for yourself. And with regard to this question, by you maintaining your connection to spirit, he's just being, I'm going to say it, he's just being a dude, but he's being a spiritual dude. He can't help it because he's come in with that. You've both come in with that ability to know thyself, right? And to have a sense of knowing. He knows that he knows you. Whether he's conscious or not that it is from a past life is another question, but he knows that he knows you. And there is not a neediness. What I get with him is there's no neediness. And I don't get a neediness from you either, but I do get a sense where you are thinking about him more than he's thinking about you. Now, the card right underneath it is postponement. So this tells us that there will continue to be a period between when you are next going to have communication, between when he reaches out to you and the last time. There's going to be a space in between that. Yet the guidance is that once you keep doing your work, spiritualizing yourself, this is going to create that divine alignment so that when you guys do reconnect, it's going to be the most high. It's going to be the most high. So especially in these past life connections where you've been here before, you've rotated on this wheel with each other before, and here you are again. Even if it's unconscious, there's this awareness of time doesn't exist. And so for you and him, and it can be frustrating because in the world, we want to have dates and times. We want to have some specifics. Yet there's this sense of continuing to let that go. And I feel that you've been very good at doing that, but there is a sense of continuing to let that go even more so that happenstance can come in. And now here's the thing. Even though you both know each other from a past life, and there's a continuation of this relationship, there is also a sense of the universe always wants us to have more in the way of good, more in the way of health, more in the way of healing. And so when things are not happening of their natural accord, I mean, there is a time where we kind of step in and give a little nudge as we're guided by higher self. Yet there is a really powerful path in allowing things to be, right? Especially when you don't have a nudge or a wink wink or a sign, a really concrete sign from the universe or from your higher self saying to go in one direction or the other. Then there is this sense of, okay, let me just hold on and allow things to transpire, allow things to open up, and from that point be open and to be shown. And I'm going to put this in a bubble of light. We did a show on the bubble of light a couple weeks ago. So I'm going to put this in a bubble of light because I'm not projecting it onto your situation, but I am guided to say this. There could be someone better suited for you when you allow yourself to look in the other direction. So there is a sense, what I'm getting is there is a sense that you have been focused on him, which is not bad. That's what we do, right? When we have a crush or we're into someone or we're like curious, like what's going to happen next? We think about them and we think about all the situations. Yet, with all due respect, what I'm getting is you're thinking about him more than he's thinking about you in that way. And so psychically, you can, when you want to think about him, put all those thoughts in a bubble of light. Also, go back and watch my Beshared, it's a Beshared bubble. It's on romance, sex, and relationships. And I'll come back later and I'll put links up top, everyone, so that you have those. But there's some really good juicy bits and bobs in there regarding this kind of situation where we're not seeking to manipulate ever, or force a will, yet we begin to understand energy and we begin to understand that, again, the universe is always seeking to give us, to gift us situations, opportunities to have even greater experiences than we think are coming to us. And again, the way to get out of the way to allow these is to meditate. meditate is to create the correct conditions so that you can have a shift in consciousness, so that you can de-link yourself enough from him to allow that space psychically. Because remember, we're all psychic. And men, I'm going to put this in a bubble of light because this is just my own perception. Okay, but it seems over the years that what I've gathered is that men are very psychic and they feel, well, everyone feels and hears everything that we say and think. Yet, because of the masculine energy, right, especially if we're working in a heterosexual situation, the man wants to be the chaser. The man wants to hunt. And if the woman is like making herself too available, then there's no mystery. And we make ourselves very available psychically as well as physically, right? With, just being around all the time. Sometimes you can't help it. It's you might work with the person, you might, but there are levels that you can be aware of, the subtleties of this. And so by disappearing your psychic questions or ponderings on him, and every time you have those thoughts, put it in a bubble of light, that will create a sacred space whereby he can think of you, not because you're manipulating or forcing him to, but he can think of you because he's not, and I say this with love and with light and with respect, but because I've been there too, but because he's not bombarded with all the thoughts that you're psychically surrounding him with. So again, this is all Beshared bubble stuff, bubble of light stuff. Put all that stuff in the bubble and allow yourself, you can think all the thoughts, you can have sexy thoughts, you can have romantic thoughts, you can question, but put it all in the bubble so it doesn't psychically walk with you in your aura, so that when you do come into contact with him, there's like this whoa, and he doesn't know why, but also so that you're not psychically bombarding him, so that he can be the man and rise up and of his own accord show up to connect with you. That's what we want, right? Well, I'm going to speak for everyone with regards to how I teach and what I share here is that we never force a will. We never manipulate a will. I don't you know, I don't teach to light a candle to attract a person. If you're going to light a candle so that you can be and embody the vibration that is your true authentic self. And in that way, then become a magnet automatically for the correct match, but not just drawing people in. And I'm not saying that you're doing this at all. I'm just going off on a bit of a tangent, but not forcing situations, because when they come of their own accord, that is the nectar. That is the heaven on earth. That is like, you have not tried to force anything. You're just following your heart. You're being open, receptive, creating the correct conditions for that divine majesty to meet you. And that's love supreme. So I pray that that truly serves you, Shavana. All right. Oh, Nina, love for you. Blessings. Welcome back. Hi, I want to know, will JG make the sacrifice to move with me in my state? I know the moving is going to happen. I feel he will thank you. You feel he will thank me. Oh, that's interesting. I want to know, right, makes sense for myself. So you're welcome, Shavana. Blessings. So you're saying, Nina, that you're moving. It sounds like you are moving for work, perhaps, or something. And you want to know, will your partner make the sacrifice to move with you in my state? You know you're going to move. You feel he will thank me. Okay, I'm not sure what that means. But what I'm getting is that you have the opportunity. You're taking it. You're with this partner, and you're wondering if he's going to saddle up and go with you. Okay, so let's change gears here. So for Nina, higher self, Nina's higher self, the divine higher self of us all. What is the message here? What is the message here for Nina and for JG to possibly move with her to another state? Well, I got to tell you right away, as I was reading your question, I got yes. And then later I got no. So let's have some clarification. What is this yes and no? Okay, 2 cards just fell out. Can't make this up. I'm shuffling. The Master card came up again. And the Source. So let's keep going. All right, divine higher self, our angels, our guides, and our cards. What is the divine guidance here for Nina? What is the feeling? What is the temperature of the situation right now? So why am I getting a yes and a no? Why am I getting a yes and a no? Will he make, in Nina's words, will he make the sacrifice for her to move to a different state? So I'm going to pause here and I'm going to take a moment. I'm going to tune in. Oh, they're telling me to split the cards in the middle. What is this? Honey. So this is why it's a yes and a no. There's this letting go card. You know, yeah, and look at what the other card on the bottom of the other deck was, is schizophrenia. So you're obviously thinking a lot about this, right? Obviously, this is taking up a lot of your time. Your mind is in 2 places. Like the schizophrenia card, it's just mental. And it's just showing us where we're in one half of us is in one place and the other half is in the other place. And it's quite normal given where you're at in your life. And it sounds like the changing circumstances, right? It sounds like you have 1 foot in one state energetically and 1 foot in the other state energetically. You have, you know, your heart is obviously in this relationship, but there's a part of you that knows that you have to make this move for yourself, and another part of you that either hasn't told JG yet, or that has, you're being very cool about it, right? You're mindful not to pressure him. You want him, like we were just talking about the masculine energy, you want him to say yes of his own. And that's what I get. I get that he will say yes, yet there's a part, what I'm getting, girl, what I'm getting is there's a part of you that wants him to say no. Am I on the right track here? Because we have this letting go card, and there, oh, I'm sorry, that was the master. We have this letting go card. And if you look closely, there's a drip of water just hanging off the edge of that leaf. And the drop has already fallen into this little body of water here below. And there's a sense of the letting go process has already begun. And what I get is that that letting go process is on your end. That you're the one that has actually made a sort of a decision within yourself to let him go. You've decided that it's okay if he doesn't come along. And what I get is that I'm just telling you what I get. What I get is that as much as you may share love or connection and relation with this person, oh, I see you're commenting. I'm going to dip in here in a second. What I do get, though, is that there's a certain excitement on your end at the thought of starting a new chapter in your life, which doesn't include JG. You feel he will. Thank you for reading me. I meant, I actually want him to move with me. It's about not worrying. Okay. All right. Okay. I dig it. I dig it. I still feel, though, that there's a part of you, if since you're writing today and you've hopped on, and of course, everything I share here, everyone, you're going to take what you want from it, right? For the highest good. You're going to roll with it, do what feels right for you, take it or leave it. I do feel, though, just you asking this question today, and we could put all this in a bubble of light, but just the asking of the question today is opening the conversation, the energetics of the conversation of what if? What if? And so I feel, because I got the yes right away, but then I got the no. Did you say, okay, you do want him to move with you? I guess how my mindset is, I'm independent, so I do go with the flow. Yeah, okay, thank you. Thank you for clarifying that, because I do get, there's like a little nugget of you that's like, like, of course you'd be heartbroken. There would be sadness if he didn't go and stuff. But there's like that, as you're saying, that independent part of you back here that's kind of like, but if he didn't go, boom. And here's the source. All of a sudden, you're like replugged in to life, to source, to God, to love, to light, whatever you call it. And this inner master within you then has this awakening of how your life could change. Okay, so here's what I'm getting, because you don't have to break up. Honey, if you guys want to be together and move across the world, you do you. And especially if he's like, I'm in, I love you, I'm going with you. You do you. But what I'm getting, and thank you again for dropping that little nugget about your independence, because I am fiercely independent as well. I mean, if you follow me on Instagram, which I know a bunch of you do, and I'm very grateful for that. I want to, and this is for you, Nina. Well, maybe it's not, because maybe you're not the same as me in this way. But just yesterday I posted this, and it's a paradox, but it's very kind of true for me, right? So I posted this. I want someone I can share my entire life with who will leave me alone most of the time. You know, that's the independent streak in me. I'm like, yeah, let's hang out. Let's, like, I want to know you're always going to be there, my lover forever. But like, I need a lot of space and a lot of time on my own to do me. And so anyway, just sharing that with you, Nina, because I thought it was perhaps would tickle your fancy. Okay, so cutting to the point, what I'm getting for you is, okay, there's love. If he goes with you, this is great. But just the whole thing that you're asking it today is opening up this vortex of possibility, where what I'm getting is, if he does come with you, get to use this time before you move to meditate, to sit with, to journal with, to contemplate on your own, outside of spending time with him, how you would like to live your life. What things that you feel are authentic to you to incorporate into your life in this move. Because this is about you. It sounds like this is about you. You are the one moving. I don't know if it's school or if it's work, or you're just like, I'm out of here. And so this is about you. And so this is important. And even you can still have a relationship, but primarily this is about you. So what I'm getting to is that the guidance is that use this time to turn over the stones of contemplation regarding what is really important to you in and outside of a relationship as an independent person, right? Like that Instagram post. Like, what's really important for Nina? What do you need to make sure you do for you? You know, like, I have a client that I work with. She just got a job offer. She's living on the East Coast. She got a job offer for the West Coast. She's in a relationship that she's not 100% happy with. You know, is he going to move with her? Is he not? It's interesting, right? Similar, but not the same. She just started Pilates. She's changing her diet. She's, having a different mindset. And so these are just metaphors and ideas, but so that as you make your move, like, what are the things you really need to keep in check with? Maybe you go to the gym, maybe you're like, I'm not going to sacrifice that. I need to keep up with that. Or maybe you're like a real spiritual student and you're like, I need to make sure I have time every day to meditate or to do my yoga practice, whatever it is, so that you don't default and do the two as one thing, which is okay. There's a divine balance, but not to become, what's that word? Interdependent. We learn to lean on each other in relationships, but to maintain your independence, even if he moves with you and you have the best time, this is about you doing you, honey. So I pray that serves you. I feel that we kind of circled around there, and I'm grateful that you came back and that you're commenting and participating. So thank you so much, Nina. I really appreciate that. And I pray that serves you, right? So don't lose your independent streak, right? So even if he does come with you, don't lose you in the process. That's the message. Don't lose yourself. All right. Blessings. Yes. Yes, exactly. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you're not clingy. Okay, I get that. All right. That is very important to do. I agree with you completely. Right. Not to be codependent. Okay, cool. Blessings, Nina. So let's check in here. Oh, Champagne. I want to say that's your name, but it's not, right? It's probably just Champagne. Welcome back. Hey, I want to know what in my childhood happened that is holding me back from furthering on my spiritual path. Please and thank you. I really need this. Okay. Champagne. What in my childhood happened that is holding me back from furthering my spiritual path? When we ask, it's so important, right, that we are prepared to receive information when we ask. I'm just prefacing this by saying that, Champagne. And I pray and I affirm that the Most High Divine messages will come through for you. And so I'm going to take a moment before I pull cards or anything. I'm going to take a moment and just tap in. And for the higher good, connecting to your higher self and asking for the highest good, for divine guidance with regard to this. What happened in Champagne's youth and her childhood that is holding her back from her spiritual path now? And yes, higher self is saying we get to, what is inviting us to open this up to all time, space, and dimensions. And again, that's another show. I'll put a link up here later that we just did last week on 4DT here. Understanding that we are multidimensional and that we have had a multitude of past lives. And so higher self right away is orienting us to this notion of It may not be just limited to this childhood and this past in this life, but it could be from other past lives. So let's keep going, Champagne. So thank you, higher self. Okay, so what I'm getting is verbal abuse. I don't know if that resonates from this lifetime or if there's a tingle, perhaps as this may resonate from a past or somewhere in your cellular memory of a truth for you. But what I'm getting, and this is so interesting, it's interesting to me because I personally have had a journey with my throat chakra. And this speaks to the throat chakra. It speaks to the opening of your throat. It speaks to you speaking your truth. And what I get is, while I don't see or feel or sense physical abuse, I do get that you were shut down. Very wise, very tuned in, very awakened, very mystically charged and able. Okay, what I'm getting is that you are psychic. Now, to the degree that you've developed these abilities, I'm not sure at this point. Yet, you know you are intuitive. And okay, what I am getting is that you can fully turn this on more. And this is something that you've had, that you've brought through many lifetimes. When you were a youth, ooh, I'm getting you would prophesy. Whoa, girl. But you would say things, okay, they're telling me, you would say things about the weather. You would prophesy about simple things like a child would. You would make predictions. And I think what I'm getting is that you freaked people out. You freaked people out because you were on. And so you were shut down. You were shut down. I'm actually hearing, I'll put this in a bubble of light. I'm hearing that you were spoken to in abusive ways. And it doesn't have to be curse words and all that. It can just be being told to shut up as a child. And I mean, that can really shock you and rock your world. And I'm getting that level of abuse, that there was your free child spirit speaking truth, making like random radical predictions that ended up becoming true. Whether you were just like, it's going to rain tomorrow, when the skies are blue and there's not a cloud in the sky and then it rains, or like there's certain things that it seems that you just knew without even knowing how you knew and without even trying to know as a youth. And so anyway, you were shut down, and you were shut down over and over and over and over again, to the point where you stopped. And you're ready to open it. You have been ready to open it, and you have been opening it. Yet I do see now you've hit a wall. You've hit a wall with this. Didn't we do a 4DT? April. April girl. Didn't we do a 4DT here on the throat chakra recently? Okay, Champagne says, oh, last minute videos is back. Blessings. Telepathy works. Absolutely. Yes, I feel it's past life related big time, says Champagne. I know deep down I am psychic and intuitive. I'm trying to get connected. I feel it in my heart big time. I know when it's going to rain. Usually my neck hurts before. Wow. Okay, so we're on the right path here, Champagne. So didn't we do a throat chakra? I feel, okay, again, I'm going to check everything. And from programs previous, like just in this last month or two, I feel that we did a show on the throat chakra, on opening that and freeing the expression of that. So I don't know if you were around to watch that, but again, either go into the search bar of my channel, look up throat chakra in the 4DT playlist, or just in the search bar. And either way, I'll come back and I'll put that link. Because it's such a big deal. And when we start to open and become activated, as we mature and we become open and activated in the world, and our spirituality activates and enlivens and invites us to be and embody more of our truth of who we are, which is your psychic, intuitive, prophetic goddess self, dear Champagne. And then we bump into these unconscious, subconscious, these like limits, these repulsions, or these fears, these little boundaries, these borderlines, where we're going like, wait, why is it hard for me to color outside the lines? So that's a very good question. Now, interesting, I was just shuffling there a moment ago while I was talking, and these two cards came out. Adventure, first of all. So again, look at, that's the youth, that's the child, and that's the wonder, that's the all the colors of the rainbow, that's all the chakras lit up. That's the child saying what they want to say, you know, without the filter, without thinking like, is this the right time and place for me to say this? You know, where they're just like, hey, being themselves, which is, I get what you did. And that's like the fun. That's the truth. And I always say, whenever we do our weekly tarot readings and this card comes up, I always speak about it in terms of the orgasmic life. And I know that may sound weird because there's a child on the front. So to clarify, it's when we live our truth. And that's what a child does, is that, well, a child that is free, for the most part, in general, right? I have to make all these stipulations. Will just sing when they want to sing. We'll skip and we'll dance and we'll do a cartwheel and won't be afraid of what other people think about them, and won't, you know, before they get shut down, if they do, in this life. And so what you're doing is you're going back to this part of you, you're healing, you're forgiving, you're calling on your own higher self to help guide that healing path, and you're recalibrating that throat chakra. Now, I've also done several videos. If you just go again into my search bar and look up, just type in the word chakra, there's chakra meditation. There's a 4-hour 4D Trinity that we did all in the chakras. And I was definitely trance channeling on that day. So you can skip around and you can like scoot to, so you don't have to watch the 4 hours unless you want to. I appreciate that. But you can scoot around and find the throat part, right? The 5th chakra part, and maybe just listen to that 30-40 minute segment to gain greater clarity, because it's all about grounding and anchoring your true expression in this reality so that you experience a true, authentic, integral reality, right? Through you being the truth of you. And so it does feel like you're bumping into it. And what I'm getting is that as you, do you have a sister or a brother, Champagne? Let me just see. I think you've written a few notes here, so I want to check in. How do I reconnect to who I am? I hate this. I want to serve my purpose. Okay, April says yes. Thank you, April. we did do a throat chakra recently. I thought we did. Thank you for confirming. Okay, this is making me emotional because it's sad that I can't get through this barrier. Yes, my inner child was damaged big time. You know what? It's okay to be emotional. And again, do you have siblings, or do you have a sibling, Champagne? And it's okay to be emotional about this. It's here to teach you. This is here to bring you to the promised land, girl. So it's okay to get emo. It's okay to cry the tears. The thing is that there's a certain period that we cry those tears, we feel those feelings, but we don't want to stay in that wheel, right? Of feeling sorry for ourselves. You're going to use this energy for the highest good to heal that part of your life. And so again, I have a tool, and I promise, I've been so busy with a lot of different projects, which I'm very excited about. My Grid Mind Science movie, which is very exciting to me. But anyway, so there's a lot of things going on, but I promise I will be making online little mini courses for this community. I talk about it all the time, the energy letter. Who do you need to write an energy letter to, from your higher self to their higher self, to the mother, to the father, to the guardians, if you're adopted, to your brothers, your sisters, to your teacher? I mean, I remember in school, I had a whole handful of teachers who shut me down, like over and over and over and over and over again. And I had no throat chakra as a child growing. I had no freaking throat chakra. I was bullied. I was abused. I was molested. I mean, because I couldn't speak up for myself. And then spiritual growth came, healing came. And my higher self was like, you need to own this. And because I kept being the victim, you are invited, Champagne, to move out of the victim mentality. You're invited to know who you are, right? And to remember who you were as the truth in you, as that adventurous child, that innocence. that does allow in happenstance. So your pain can become your power. Again, the energy letters is, I mean, there's so many mega tools, but there's energy letters where you write. And again, I may not even have it. We're only allowed to put 5 links up at a time for any YouTube shows. So again, search bar, if I don't put it up here later, the energy letter, I have a couple videos on what it's all about. That is a really powerful metaphysical way for you to get in tune with your truth through writing it out, with your feelings through getting it out, because if this stuff again stays festering inside of us, well, we don't need that, right? Especially as we become enlightened and we work to healing ourselves, our lives, what happens is this stuff gets to come out because it can no longer be contained in the new vibration that you are seeking to be. And is it really a new vibration at all? It's like your original blueprint that you're coming back to, outside of the other stuff that's been stamped onto the blueprint through the hurt, the pain, and all that stuff. You have half brothers and sisters, but I have a younger brother on my mom's side, her only child besides me I'm close to. This is really interesting. Okay. Oh, that's IS. Okay. So, because what I'm getting is that, so comparison came up, right? And I don't know, because the reason why I asked that about brothers and sisters is because I was getting that that you were told, like, why can't you be more like so-and-so, you know, who never opened their mouth, who never railed against authority. And not that you did that. I mean, maybe you did. Maybe you were a little bit of a rebel, which is cool, which is what all kids are, which is what we're like freaking learning how to be in this world. You know, to be an independent, fierce, sovereign being, connected to source, connected to light, fearless of the 3D, of this third dimensional dual realm, right? This binary system of love versus fear. So where you're invited to do is to work this healing muscle, work on creating correct words for you to speak by, work on trusting your truth again. So this is like a really complex thing. I feel like we could do a whole workshop on this. If it resonates with you, Champagne, I wrote a book. I've written a couple books, but this book is my autobiography from when I was a youth, when I was bullied, abused, molested, all that stuff, up until my early 30s. I meet my Reiki teacher. I have miraculous healings. I learn about metaphysics. I learn how to heal my life, but also a lot of the orientation of speaking my truth, of standing up to bullies, of not being a victim anymore. It's called the Reiki Apprentice. It kicks ass, if I do say so myself. The link is down in the show more box. And what you do is when you read it with me, you go on your own healing journey and you learn through reading these verbal medicine cues, these affirmations, these prayers, these metaphysical energy tools, how you might apply them in your own situation, in your own world. So just on a aside, if that resonates, if you're like, yeah, I want to read how someone else healed their life from, you know, abuse, from being bullied, from being a victim. Really, I lived my whole life as a victim up until not too long ago. So moving forward, what I'm getting is this. As you embark on healing this part of your life, this is changing the chemistry within you. This is activating the Kundalini. This is activating you. And you're ready to be activated. And this is the year for it, because it just is. You are ready. And what I'm getting, you are ready for this next piece of the puzzle to complete, because there is a sense that, and you know, I mean, I'm putting words in your mouth here on the YouTube, but I'm just speaking from my own experience. Like, there's only so long we can live. Once we start turning the light on and we get enlightened and we start healing other aspects of our life, and then it concuncses with like a major area, and we're like, oh, this is the linchpin. This is the one. If I can heal and start to work on this, even with little baby steps, gently, piano, as we say, little by little, right? Everything begins to change. I teach for work right now. I teach yoga, and I've been teaching yoga for like almost 20 years. And in class yesterday, there was a theme. I taught a couple classes, and there was a theme that was, you know, really paying attention to the little cogs, the little wheels in life, and how we make these small decisions, because how authentic and how honest we are when we make the smaller decisions in our life, because they so determine the larger wheels that turn in our life. And so what I'm offering to you, Champagne, is to be gentle on yourself. And I know there are times where it will be overwhelming, but this is your invitation, that this is up now, that you have asked the question. You can put it all in a bubble of light, yet that you have asked the question, the grids are active now. The vortex is obviously open for you to start. And if you've already started, for you to go a little bit deeper on this healing path with your life and with this many lifetime feeling, because there is this sense of, through all time, space, and dimensions, this sense of, honey, you've been here before, and it's time now in this lifetime to break the cycle, to break the chains. So everything throat chakra that you can get your hands on, cleansing your crystals, wearing your, for years, all I wore was turquoise, because I was like, once I realized that my throat had been shut down for like the majority of my life, and I realized I'm ready to open this sucker up. Well, anyway, that's a whole adventure anyway with what crystals you're guided to. But I was like the turquoise queen. I mean, I always had at least one turquoise on, just to help open that channel, to hold the sacred space, that I could just be supported energetically in trusting my true expression. Because when we're a boo-boo, when you're a little kid and that stuff gets shut down, then you start to question yourself, you know, and you're like, maybe your natural psychic intuitive abilities, you start to question, but they're true and they're on, and you're welcome to step back into the ring of fire, to step back into your power, my love, and to know thyself divine, to know who you are, back in your power, to find your voice once again. So look up everything throat chakra. There's a bija mantra meditation on this YouTube here for chanting, where you chant the seed sounds of all the chakras. Calibrate all of them, because they all support one another. It's time to get in there though and to do the work. You know, and I support you. It's a big deal. This is the good news though, is that as you calibrate this, it gets easier to walk in the love and the light. It gets easier to be in the world and not of it. And I can feel you. I feel you have a lot of integrity. And I feel there is a depth of authenticity, though, that has been stifled. It's been okay, but it's been stifled, and especially so now, because your light is starting to expand, and it's seeking to grow broader. Yet it can only go so far when all of those limitations from your youth are still placed on it. And what are those? They're just bound in fear. So you get to unravel the fear, forgive those who have trespassed and who have told you otherwise, that you cannot speak your truth, or that you got to shut up, or don't talk and be quiet, etc. And learn how to come into mastering your time and space. Now, again, I don't know, we have over a year, maybe a year and a half of 4D Trinities here. Mastering your time and space is a huge thing that we learn in this book, in the Reiki Apprentice book, but I've also done 4DTs on it. And it's all about being a master of your tongue and a master of your mind. And I think looking into those videos would truly serve you, would truly, truly serve you. Yes, start wearing that turquoise. Oh, blessings. I'm so grateful that this is speaking to the truth in your heart. Namaste. Yeah, blessings, 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 goddess. Okay, so we're going to check in here now. And I do have that Reiki question or two in the phone realm. So Isa says, this is really interesting. The name of the book is The Reiki Apprentice, and it's down in the Show More box. All of my links, they should be down in the Show More box. If they're not, you can go to Amazon or Kobo. It's on Kindle as well as in Paperback? The Reiki Apprentice. Now, did I miss someone up here? I just want to check in. Oh, yes, Is. Hi. I'm going to call you Is, although it might be IS. I want to know why S is acting the way he do to me. Will he open up to me? Okay. All right. Is or IS. We're going to check in. Is he going to open up to her? And again, I just want to make sure. Why is he acting the way? So connecting with your higher self in this beautiful rose quartz crystal cave. And why is he acting this way towards IS? S, you're right, you're calling him S. Why S is acting this way? Okay. So you know everything I share here is just channeled with love. There's nothing, I have no reason to do things in any other way otherwise. So what I'm getting right away is that he's not being honest about something with you. Okay, so greater clarification, please. If it's for the highest good that we have a sense of, that we know what S is not being fully honest about with IS, we receive that divine information. So this card just popped out, letting go. So is this a relationship that is coming to an end, or that is changing? Because sometimes the letting go does signify a complete change, like a breakup. But sometimes it also signifies those realms of relationship, especially where it's long term. There can be times where you disconnect so that you can reconnect, in greater love and in greater light and with greater understanding. I mean, if you've ever had a long-term relationship, 3 or 5 or more years, you will probably understand. And I know some of you are married here for way longer than that, which I do not have experience in like a 10-year marriage by any means. But if we stay to the scale of the 3 to the 5 or more or around there, there will be times where you don't fit. Even if you were like truly romantically in love and couldn't get enough of each other, there will be times where you're just like, okay, and now I need to do me. And now this relationship is ready to grow or to change or to shift. And so what I'm getting is that he's bumping into that. He's not being honest about that. He doesn't know how to be honest about it, to be honest. He's a lot younger than you. And I get that he's a lot younger than you in the way of his experience with relationships. He's actually learning from you. He may not know it yet because he's young and he may not be looking at things that way. But what I get is that he's learning a lot from you. And so as long as you are willing to be patient and allow what will serve the highest good, I get that this relationship, okay, so this was on the bottom of the deck and it keeps looking at me. So it wants me to show you transformation. This relationship is ready to transform. You know it. He knows it. He doesn't have a gosh darn clue what any of that means, though. Whereas you've had more relationships. Your soul is older, if you will. You're more worldly. You're more practiced at life, at relationships, at romance. He is not. And so he can't be honest with you because he doesn't really even know what's going on. And I don't mean to talk down on the masculine or the males. Yet unless they are in tune with that aspect of self, and unless they have had a series of serious relationships and they have an interest in cultivating relationships. If that's not there, then they just kind of like bob from one to the next. And that's very general. And I put that all in a bubble of light because I don't need that to be true. But I'm just telling a story though, right? Just for the sense of this offering. This is what I'm getting though, is the story is that's kind of him. That's what I'm getting. Whereas you're like this worldly person who has seen more, done more, had more love, romance. You're intuitive more. And he's just not. He's just not. So let me come back to your actual written question. Because I want to stay on focus. Will he open up to me, you say? Will he open up to me? Okay, here you have some more. Sarah, yes, absolutely. Go ahead and put your question in the comment box and I'll get to you in a little bit. So yeah, I know he's not honest at all. Oh, but he keeps contacting me in and out. Yeah, we've never been in a relationship, but we've been having contact on and off. Yeah, ironically, he is older. I feel I have more experience. Yeah, that's the irony, right? They might be older, but you might be wiser, girl. So given this more information that you're sharing here now, again, I still get, what the cards are saying. So you haven't had a relationship, it sounds like, with this person, yet there's a communication, there's a contact relationship, right? Okay, what I'm getting with him is that you're not the only one. Okay, so I'm getting he's a little bit of a player. And your relationship with him will continue to be this let go and transform, let go and transform, let go and transform. But really what you're doing is you're serving him, you're training him. So do you want to be that trainer for him, or do you want to let go for realsies and move on so that you can open up a divine sacred space for like someone who ain't gonna waste your time? And he's not wasting your time, because when we impart and hold space for others, and when we're more the teacher in the relationship, even if it's not an intimate thing, but you're just doing a texting or a calling or those random, like these interactions that you have where it's on off communication, hey, what's up, maybe this is all happening on Tinder, I don't know, but there's a sense that yeah, if you know that he's not honest, okay, what I'm getting from your higher self is saying, hold up the let go card. Hold up that letting go card. So I'm definitely getting from your higher self that the most high divine counsel now is to know what you're getting yourself into if you should stay, which is you're being a teacher, you're being a mediary, you're holding space for him to learn. Do you want to do that? Is that how you want to spend your time? If not, move on. Okay, that's what I got for you. Do you think, okay, so here we go. Do you think we will have a relationship in the future? No. What I'm getting is no. You could have sex, you could have levels of romantic intimacy, but again, I'm getting he's not serious about, even though on a back burner level, he's learning. He's older, but he's younger. I don't get that he's not interested in anything serious at all. Even if he gets a girlfriend or has a girl or something, I don't get that this person is seeking a relationship as such in the way that I feel you are looking for a relationship. Higher self is saying, don't waste your time, move on. Sometimes it's like that. The guidance is just like, boom. You really love him. I understand. I understand. But if you've never been in a relationship, you don't really know him. And so I'm going to be a little sassafras here, and I'm going to say, How can you really love someone when and I'm assuming romantically here, but if you haven't had a relationship with someone, and believe me, it takes a minimum of 3 years. I don't know, any people in the house there who've had a minimum 3 year or longer term relationship? That's really how long it takes to get to know someone. And I know love is powerful. It's chemical, it's emotional, it's mental. Yeah, I'm sorry and not sorry, but your higher self is saying, stop fooling yourself, move on. So I'm going to move on. So blessings and thank you for your question. But it seems like higher self is like, cut it, cut the cord, cut the cord, unless you want to keep training him. Yeah, you've known each other for 1 year, but do you really know him? Is what higher self is saying. Yeah, you were in, relationship with your ex for 6 years. So maybe this person is the rebound person. Maybe you can get a little bit of your own training on. Maybe you can use this situation to sharpen your relationship skills, to sharpen your, what is important to you? What is true to you in relationship? What do you really want in a relationship? It feels like that's a way that you can use the interaction with this person to have those contemplations, to have those considerations. Yeah. I pray that that serves you. I pray that that serves you. And I know that's a little blunt, yet sometimes the guidance is like that. I thank you for your question. I thank you. I'm going to move on. And I know Queen Bean was up here a while ago. Yeah, let's get to Queen Bean. We'll do it in order. Can you please tell me what's coming in for love for me? I'm single. And then you retracted a few. And then you said, can I be on the list? Yes. Okay. Can I ask one too? Okay. So Queen Bean, I'm going to go to your question up here. Hi. Can you please tell me what's coming in for love for me? And then I see there's Sarah. So we'll get to Sarah after. And let me just check the phone. I want to make sure, because I know sometimes people send in emails for their questions. Okay. So again, Queen Bean, can you please tell me what's coming in for love for me? I am single. Okay. Okay. And Sarah, I'll get to you after. So Queen Bean, what's coming in for love for Queen Bean? What's coming in for love for Queen Bean? What's coming in for love for Queen Bean? Higher self. Queen Bean's higher self. What divine counsel and guidance do you have now? What's coming in the way of love for Queen Bean? What's coming in the way of love? And I'm going to clarify this a little more. I'm assuming, unless you tell me otherwise, that you're inquiring regarding romantic love. Because when we say love and we ask that of the universe, it's a really broad filter. So I'm going to assume that you're being specific about romantic love. And that will help the universe, your higher self, and the cards give a more succinct offering. Okay? So unless you tell me otherwise. Queen Bean. Romantic love. What's coming in the way of romantic love for Queen Bean? We just had 2 fall. Interesting. Politics and ripeness. Okay, so what I'm getting is that, wow. Oh, what I'm getting is that you have been through it. You have been through it with a partner or with partners that have not always been their true self, even if you have shared love, like serious love and serious like relations, there's the sense of these partners not bringing to the forefront their whole selves, their whole truth. And so I feel like you've come through that and you're ready now. What's the next card is the ripeness. You are so ready. You are ready to receive. And you know what? There's this fruit here, if you can see it, that's already fallen from the tree. So what I get is that you have a sense of either who it might be or that it is coming. That this love, this next round of love, oh, blessings, Will. Thank you for hopping on always. Yes, romance. Yeah, I get this sense that you've been through it and you're ready now. You're ready now to receive a new level of partner. Congratulations. I feel like you've healed. Oh my gosh, look at this. You've healed. And okay, there's still parts of self that are healing, but I get this really, especially this last person you were with, they kind of really put you through the ringer. And this could have been a relationship that ended, 2 or 3 years ago, but whatever it was, it feels that it took you so deep. And because you loved them, they loved you, but they were not being their full true self, and things got revealed later. It really made you grow. It really created a cause for you to start showing up in new ways in your life and to not take shit anymore, to be more true and more authentic to you. I get that you've been working on yourself. Look at this, you've been deconditioning. You've been letting go of the old stories of who you've been told you were. You've let go. You've actually forgiven this person. You have absolutely forgiven, or you are continuing in the process. You're taking the high road. I'm going to see, it looks like you wrote a little something. I'm getting more clarity because of them. Yes, you are. Well, keep on keeping on, because it is serving you. It is truly serving you. You are ready. You are ready now to embark on that romantic love level. And so what I will tell you, because everything I share here is spiritual, is metaphysically rooted in understanding the invisible realm, right, of how we exist. And by your doing that work, healing and learning, blessing those situations, it's creating the correct conditions. Now you've come full circle in that cycle and you are ready. You're ready to receive. And just the very act of you being ready to receive energetically is what is going to draw in this new partner. And look at this celebration. So this card wants you to be with your sisters. It wants you to, and maybe that's literal family, your family, your sisters of family, or that's like your girlfriends. There's a sense of celebration. And this playfulness is what is setting up to call in that love, to call in that next romantic partner. Because it's almost like what I'm getting with you is, it's like you're curious because I think you feel, it's like it's time. The cycle has come. Yet at the same time, you're not attached. Like it needs to happen next week by 3:03 on Friday at, whatever, longitude, latitude. I get this like cool thing with you where you're like, you could totally be like, I could entertain a new relationship, a new romantic someone. I could go for that. But there's also a part of you that's like, and I could also just like chill and hang with my sisters and keep invoking the goddess and be open and free and allow myself to flirt with life. I get these, like, where you're in a really cool space right now. But yes, you have totally created the correct conditions for romance to come in. Now, we know time doesn't really exist, right? Metaphysically. And so I don't know when that's going to be. But what the cards are saying and what I'm getting from your higher self is everything is perfectly aligned for it to happen. Everything is, oh, okay. So I just opened the cards. I was like, okay, we're just going to open them up and see what the card is. Flowering. This is so powerful. This is you in your juicy love frequency. So, okay, what I'm getting from your higher self, your higher self is saying, don't take the first package that comes along. What I'm getting is what I'm getting for you from your higher self is to have fun, because you're ready. The cycle has completed. And it's like there was karmas, there was lessons, there was healing, there was pain, there was things that it's like click, 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 click. And now that those cycles have run, you're ready. Everything is saying you're ready. Your higher self is like, yeah, you're ready. And your higher self is also saying that you are one juicy morsel. Energetically, however you're wearing your hair, I don't know, whatever's going on, both inside and outside, you are coming into this love, into this goddess, into this flowering. And you know what that is? That's self-love. That is ultimately, the seed of that is your ability to love yourself. And that is juicy. That is you, maybe you're a no makeup t-shirt, and jeans kind of girl, and that's sexy and that's hot. And maybe you're you wear a lot of jewelry and you like to, do your hair and, wear your heels. It's like, it's all, whatever is your thing, it's working for you. And it's working for you. And I get what I'm getting is your higher self is saying to be playful, to date, to not be in a rush, to give your whole heart away to the first person that comes along. Now, that might be the one that you end up with. Yet I get there's going to be 2 or 3, like in the next 4 to 6 weeks, there's going to be 2 or 3 interested males in your direction, considering you're into males, where there can be percolations of opportunities happening romantically. Again, your higher self is saying, play it cool. Be the queen that you are, Queen Bean. Be detached. Keep in tune with your sisters, with the goddess energy. Know that you got it. And that you don't have to be in a rush to give it all the way to the first one. Let yourself date. Let yourself flirt around a bit. Let yourself be playful with these male opportunities. I'm getting that they are men. So I feel like you're straight. Allow yourself to be playful with them and then make your choice. I mean, this is a wonderful place to be. And you've done really remarkable work in your healing is what I get. That's amazing. Continuing to forgive them. I know we have to. Plain Jane. Yeah. Nobody from the past. Nope. I don't get anyone from the past. I don't get there's any looky-loos coming back to be like what she got going on. I don't feel interference from the past anyway. I feel these are new contenders. So you go, girl. You rock that out. You are ready. Yes, you are ready. And may you receive the Most High, and stay in tune with your truth. Don't give it all away. Stay authentic and true to you, and keep in tune with your sisters. I feel that's really important, that's really helped you in whatever way, even if you're not a sister girl every weekend, but just whatever connection you do have with those sacred women in your life that keep you, that see you, and that hold a safe and sacred space for you to reflect your truth and for you to be heard and seen. That's really important, because you're a new version of you, and they're going to help you remember that you're that new version of you as you open yourself up as this juicy love bug goddess, where men are going to be like, what's your number? I'm just making that up, but you know what I mean. So congratulations. That's fun. Have fun with it. Have fun with it. Yeah, have fun with it. So I'm going to pop back up here, and I see the Perkins Jam. Oh, you've been here before. Okay, so I'm going to get back to you in 1 second. I know we had Sarah here. Sarah, how will my next boyfriend treat me? I really love my ex, but I let go because he's not for me. Yeah, good for you. You can do it too, IS. Oh, that's so cool. I love when y'all, that's new for me. When you all are on the comments and talking to each other and giving each other support. I love that. Okay, so Sarah, you posted your question. Let me just scroll down. Okay, I'm going to go back up. How will your next boyfriend treat you? You really love your ex, but you had to let go because he's not the one for you. How is your next boyfriend going to treat you? Ooh, let's see. Okay, well, one card just popped out. We're going to keep going. And I'm going to connect with your higher self. We had another popper fly out. And connecting with Sarah's higher self, what's the guidance here? How will her next boyfriend treat her? And these are interesting questions to throw out into the quantum continuum of possibility. Because really, I mean, really what your higher self, and I feel what you already know, but what your higher self wants you to be reminded of is that we will always be treated the equal to how we treat ourselves. And so just as a guideline, as a rule, as a baseline, we set up the set points for how we will be treated by others. So we show others how to treat us. We show others how to respect us by the respect we give ourselves. So your higher self just wants to make sure that that's been said before we go deeper. Okay. Now, with that, the two cards that came out is harmony. So this is a really beautiful card. It speaks to what I'm getting. I mean, besides it being very spiritually, beautifully rooted, and oh my God, I mean, it's hot. It's hot because it's turned on spiritually. And to me, that's hot. I don't know if that's hot to you, but I get this like, I get this like it's really like you guys can just hang out and be silent, and there's so much going on. There's so much going on because you both have a connection with the divine, a connection with nature, a connection with spirit. I feel that your next partner is going to be more tapped in and in tune with those qualities. Is going to be a little bit more spiritual than your ex. Is going to be synced up more to you. And, good for you for doing the work, for leaving your ex when you knew it was time, because if that's not matching you, right? And especially if you don't feel the harmony, the resonance, and they are not willing to grow, or whatever the situations are, you had to namaste your way out of there and really serve yourself in your healing and your growth. And this has been a theme with a lot of these questions. And I get now that you are doing that. You've learned how to do that, like really live that. Of course, like attracts like, you can't help but draw that kind of a partner that's more turned on in that way with you. And so there's this beautiful resonance. Now, equally, I get silence. So I don't know if you do meditate, but these two cards would bring me to a notion of thinking that you do dabble in meditation, prayer, journaling, anything that allows you to be silent, to be still. What that card is saying is, the silence card, is it saying, okay, your higher self is saying, don't be in a rush. Your good is coming, and it's going to be better than you can imagine. So what I'm getting, especially with this card silence, is not to try to create a filter of how he needs to look. Okay, so this is what I'm getting from your higher self. The silence card, in conjunction with what I'm getting from your higher self, is don't manufacture this person. Let the divine happenstance of the Most High come in and bring him to you. Because if you decide that he has to be, and believe me, I am like, I really only want to date, men that they have to be like 6 foot something. Like, that's my mind. Minimum 6'3", minimum, and so if I'm ever out, feeling flirty or something, like, I won't even look at a person unless they've got really magnificent energy. But if I'm in that mode, I will be scouting for the tall dudes first. And so, like that though, I know that that cuts me off from the potential of, what about the dudes that are 5'11"? you know? And the story here, though, is what I'm getting for you, Sarah, is to get out of that mindset of thinking he has to have this color hair, his eyes have to be blue. And I don't know if that's something you do, but if you are tempted to, or if you're not if you're guided, because if you're guided, then you're guided. But I know for me in the past, I used to make affirmations. It's in my other book, which is a whole other story, How to Manifest with the Law of Vibration, where I basically conjured my perfect partner with 100 affirmations. And that went to hell in a handbag if you read that book. The point is, your higher self is saying, be mindful not to try to manufacture this person. Let them be something, someone, let them show up in ways that you could have never have imagined. So, for example, we might think that going to singles night at the club is the only way to get a dude. Higher self is saying like, honey, you could be at the library with your hair in a ponytail and like yesterday's makeup on, or if you even wear makeup, and this person can be like, hey. It's like, expect the unexpected and don't have things figured out. Thank you, higher self. Higher self is saying, don't have things figured out. They're going to be better than before. They're going to be really juicy. It's going to be, I feel like they're centered in their heart. I don't know, Cancer, Pisces, Leo, it feels hot, but because you're both spiritually turned on. And that creates a sacred sustenance that nourishes, the grounding for the ways that you connect. So again, no expectations. Do your best to let go of that they need to look like this, or they have to be a football player, or I only date, like I know guys who will not date girls unless their boobs are like so big, or they won't date this person unless they, like I have a girlfriend and she will not date a dude unless he has like abs. Like he has to have abs. She will not date him. Like there's these things that we make up. Like me, I'm like, he has to be at least 6'3", But it's like, let all that stuff go out the window and let the divine introduce to you something that's even better than you could have imagined. All right, Sarah, I pray that that serves you. Okay. Oh, she's like, yes, yay. Blessings. Okay, good. I'm so glad that that is all resonating, Sarah. So I'm going to go up to the Perkins Jam. And you know what? Then I'm going to read a few. We're going to actually wrap up here in a while. I did have one or two on the email. So Sarah finishes by saying, I just want the next guy to be like me, loyal. And when he loves hard. Woo! Now that's an affirmation, honey. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. The Perkins Jam, I am beginning a new job tomorrow. Now I am curious if this was a good move or if it was a mistake. Oh, okay. Let's shift gears here. You're curious whether this was a good move or if this was a mistake. The Perkins Jam. You're starting a new job tomorrow. I asked to be connected to your higher self. And just a reminder for us all, we do all this work in the rose quartz crystal cave so that none of these energies bleed out into any of our environments, especially my home and my space, but that we have this sacred space, right? We imagine that we're in a beautiful rose quartz crystal cave, and that's where we're having these conversations. That's where we're sharing this information. And that beautiful rose quartz crystal cave just helps to illumine, to bring love, to bring light, to create the correct conditions for the channeling and the sharing of this information here. It holds space. It holds space for us. And so I'm very, very grateful. Very grateful. Okay, Perkins Jam. New job tomorrow, right? Beginning a new job. Curious if this was a good move or if it was a mistake. Blah, go ahead and ask a question. And I think what I'm going to do is let me go ahead and say this now as I'm going to finish up here. Yes, please ask your question, Blah. And then I'm going to just write, oops, where did we go? Where did I go? Oh, I went somewhere. Let me go back. Oh, that's not taking me back. Take me back. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to type in the chat box that we're going to be finishing up. But yes, you can ask a question, Blah. Thank you, everyone. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed. Please email or Q&A next month. Okay. I'm just going to let so that people know. Okay, Blah. So yeah, go for it. But in the meantime, we're going to get back to the Perkins Jam. Okay. You start a new job tomorrow. You're curious if this was the right move to do. Okay. Connecting with your higher self. Your higher self says, move on. Your higher self says, move on. Don't worry, be happy. Okay, your higher self is saying you're thinking way too much. Trust yourself. I'm going to shuffle a little bit more. And your higher self is also saying to congratulate yourself. And I don't know what level of a job, or if this is a job that you've been trying to get for many years or something like that at all. It may just be a real basic job, but still your higher self is saying like, look, you got the job. Some part of you has guided this shift, this change in your life, and you've manifested it. So take a moment to honor and celebrate that. Again, your higher self is saying like, stop thinking so much. This is the clinging to the past card, and this is the morality card. There's too many thoughts and there's not enough heart. You are being guided. And I think what I'm getting from your higher self is that this is a little bit of a new experience for you. Not the job. Not the job. The job is easy, actually. What I'm getting for you is this job is actually going to be easy. And not easy to the point where you'll be bored, but you know how to do this. Whether you're flipping hamburgers or you're a neuroscientist, honey, I feel that you know how to do what this new job is going to ask of you to do. What the real question is here, what the real offering is you allowing yourself to trust that you've come this far, to trust that you have made the correct decision in doing so. And you know what your higher self is always saying? Your higher self is saying you can always go back to that old job. Now, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, but I'm also getting that this is kind of a safe move for you. Even though it's a new job, because there's a sense that you could always go back to your old job. Again, I say this with respect, but maybe you're thinking too much about all this stuff instead of just relaxing into your new job energy, relaxing into this. We are the world. There's a sense that your angels and your guides and your higher self has been so orchestrating this with you and helping to bring this new reality that you've been praying for. You've been asking for a change. And here it is in the way of this new job that you begin tomorrow. And what I'm getting is that you are so supported. And the people at your new job, I get that you're going into a cool situation that, again, whether you're flipping burgers or you're like going to be a neuroscientist, an astrologist or a veterinarian, whatever it might be. I get that the community, whether it's an online community or like the people in the flesh that you physically work with, they're cool peeps. I get that you're surrounded by goodness, and that it's only you're thinking too much, and that's making you kind of cuckoo. It's making you kind of crazy. It's making you question. It's making you have the question right now as to whether you're doing the right thing. But the divine is saying, trust yourself, trust the situation, trust your circumstances on a level you've been asking for this change. And now here it is. And now here it is. So allow yourself to receive it and do your best whenever you have. Okay, so higher self, what is the guidance then for, and something has happened to my screen, so now I need to go and scroll down. For the Perkins Jam, what is the divine guidance then? How is he going to, or I'm assuming you're a he, I'm not sure, but how, and pardon me, I keep forgetting the Jerkins, the Germans, the, what is your tag? Perkins Jam. So how can Perkins Jam best get over all the thoughts? What your higher self is saying, allow yourself to imagine what this job can lead to. So anytime you feel that you're getting stuck in feeling like you're like, did I make the right decision? I don't know. Oh my God, I start tomorrow. And you start to just roll that over. Higher self is saying, just let yourself, whenever those thoughts happen, just let yourself come into that realization of where you're at here in this new job and where it can lead to. Because it feels like a springboard job. It feels like it could be 2 months, 3 months, it could be 2 years, 3 years, but it doesn't feel like something you're going to necessarily, you will have the option to stay longer. But I feel for you that it's not necessarily something that you're going to stay in forever. So allow yourself, instead of like worrying about the past and wondering if you made the right decision, allow yourself to be with that awareness that says, where could this job lead to? Not to the point where you're not present in appreciating and experiencing all the experiences that your new job holds for you, but just as a way to get out of the past and bring yourself into the immediacy of where you are. And I know we talk about past and future metaphysically here and that they really don't exist. But for this practice, allow yourself to voyeur in an unattached way. As you meet these amazing people that you're working with, as you connect with them, to meet them, to connect with them, and to be like, oh, they know so-and-so, or, oh, they have roots, they have a background in this and that, and I always wanted to do this and that. Maybe, okay, this is just a story. Maybe you've always written songs and you've always wanted like to have access to a little recording studio where you can put the tracks down, but you never have. Meanwhile, for your profession, you're a veterinarian. And so, yeah, you could always go back to the old vet where you used to work, but now you have this new job opportunity to, like, I don't know, serve horses at a big sanctuary, and it pays better and there's a different community. But there you meet someone who's a freaking bass player and a music producer, and they have a little studio in their basement, and they're like, yeah, let's get down. We can record your tracks. Let's start. It's like, this is this kind of thing where there's this synthesis, which is much bigger than just the job, just the 3D-ality of the job. So there's opportunity, there's happenstance, there's good things for you there. Yet you will not see them if you're clinging to the past and if you stay in fear. Okay, so my guidance is, your higher self's guidance, the guidance from the cards is saying to let yourself fully come into the present moment and receive this divine job, receive the blessings. Because there's goodness there for you. There's good people. So, thank you. And I'm going to go to blah. May that serve you. Perkins Jam. Any communication. So, blah. Okay, blessings, blessings. You're welcome, Perkins Jam. Any communication, etc., coming from Mr. O, says Blah. Mr. O, the mysterious Mr. O. Mr. O. Okay, from Blah. So higher self, connect with your higher self, dear Blah. And for the highest good, what is the divine guidance here? And again, I have to see what I'm doing, just so I'm super clear. Which doesn't hurt at all to be super clear. Any communication coming from Mr. O. Okay. Any communication coming from Mr. O. So right away, your higher self is saying no. Not now, later. So we'll ask the cards for clarification. So Blah was asking, is there any communication from Mr. O? Higher self says no, not right now, later. So what is the clarification for this? Divine Osho. We're so grateful. Okay, so we had a popper. Oh, there's a healing. There's a healing that's taking place. There is a healing that's taking place. Who is this healing for? What is this healing about? Any divine clarification you can give us, you can give Blah on this healing, will be greatly received. Okay, so what I'm getting is that there's a healing that's happening on your part. And there's almost this, there's almost this sense of, there's a lot of cards here, so we're gonna go through this quickly. There's a sense of you, okay, help me say this, higher self. There is a divine webbing, if you will. There's a divine presence. The universe, the love, that is the fundamental background of all creation, that is always seeking for our highest good, always seeking to create the correct conditions for us to have the experience of our highest good, for us to have the experience of our greatest joy. And I feel that Mr. O is deliberately being kept at bay so that this healing that is really important in your life right now can take place. Very important healing right now. I get that you are coming from a place of being very much in the mind. Comparison we have, there's fighting. And I know these cards can sometimes seem a little like heavy duty, and the mind, but those three cards specifically speak to the wheels that turn in the mind that can drive ourselves crazy. We can drive ourselves crazy. And there seems to be this awareness where you're like, I know, and you're purposely moving through a healing right now. You're in it right now. You're in it. And as long as you're in it, Mr. O ain't coming around. He's not going to be getting that close because the universe is creating this like protective shield, this beautiful orb around you so that you can oscillate, so that you can percolate, you can process all these feelings and all these things that you're going through, because it's about you and it's not about them. This is about you. And what you're going through is what you're doing is you're moving from feeling like this, from feeling like the outsider. So this is all related to something else that I get doesn't really have to do specifically with Mr. O, but something separate in a way that had happened before or on a side is now it's healing. And while it does have something to do with him, it doesn't at the same time, if you will, bear with me with that. Because there's this feeling of this outsider where you have not felt in alignment with you. And the universe is putting a pause on Mr. O so that you can get right with you. Thank you, higher self. So that's what's happening. But then what comes next? Okay, so where you're at right now is the slowing down. So let this time be about you, your baths, your crystals, your candles, your self-prayers, your self-care, and whatever that is for you. Self-care, self-care. It's not that he's never coming back. It's just that the universe has him on pause on the side while you take care of you. And what's really beautiful is like, what your higher self and what the cards are showing is like this, is you're in it and you're like halfway through it. And I don't know how long that means on a timeline basis, but you're in it. And so let this time be about you. You can still think about Mr. O. You can still, have those fancies of thought and whatnot. Yet this is about you right now. And what the cards are inviting you to do is to learn how to come back to. I feel like you know how to live moment to moment, or you've had flashes where you realize the importance of that aspect of living moment to moment, and you're being invited to come back to that. And just breath by breath, baby step by baby step, one day at a time without Mr. O coming around. And where you're going is towards a breakthrough, is a reinitiation of your third chakra into the world, where now you have your power back. Right now, you don't, because it's all in the mind, or at least it has been scattered in the mind. And so it's taken you out of your center. Where you're going, though, is you're coming back into your center. You're coming back into this beautiful space of empowerment. But again, I get that you're halfway through the cycle. I don't know. They're saying 2 to 4 weeks, maybe. If you keep doing the work, keep doing your self-care, that things will transmute to this playfulness. Well, then the cycle changes. And from that playfulness, then that energy, you get to relearn how to be in your power in the world, in that third chakra. And then as you get your training wheels into this new version of yourself, amped up with your new vibes, your new frequency, then it moves up to the heart chakra. And then there's this playfulness where you can easier be in the world and not of it, where you can, with greater ease, not be so attached. There's almost, so what I'm getting is there's almost this thing that, like, if you really do this work in this way, spiritually, and take care of yourself, that even if it's 2 to 4 weeks for this cycle to happen, this completion of this healing, or for the planets to align, for the click to happen, so that there's a shift energetically, there's almost this sense of like, once you come around it and you're back in your center of power, where you won't even be asking like, is he going to come around? Because you'll be so detached and unattached, and coming from a place of not needing to know. And so that's the guidance for that. I pray that that truly serves you. I really, really do. And I thank you again for your questions. If you're just hopping on, I love this community. I bless this community. I'm going to wrap up. I did have a question about Reiki, and I think I'm going to put this on my Reiki blog. I have been a practicing Reiki master teacher for almost 20 years. Feel very honored to have helped serve the healing path of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. And it's really one of the most powerful modalities, gateway modalities. And when I say gateway, because it helps you turn on to understanding love, to understanding the subtle flow of energy in your body and as a current of love that is the truth of all life. It is such a beautiful modality. And I'm grateful to share in so many ways with it. So there was a question, and I think I'm going to put this in my blog, my Reiki blog, which later, again, I'll come back with all the links that I'll put up here, up top later, but I'll also go downstairs, or down to the show more rather, and add a link to my Reiki Apprentice blog. And just as a reminder, I was telling one of you earlier that I have my book, the Reiki Apprentice book, which depicts how I healed my life with Reiki and an understanding of metaphysics. It's a blow-by-blow, very, very honest account of the deep, dark recesses endured by all of us, and how we alchemically turn our pain into our power when we allow ourselves to choose love over and over and over again. and modalities serve, such as Reiki, such as understanding the way the metaphysics, the invisible world works, the invisible universe works, and your part in it. And all of that gets broken down in that book. It's my autobiography. I love it. I'm very proud of it. So thank you for your support. All those links are down in the Show More box. So this question is very simple to wrap us up. How do I bring healing? So this is specific to Reiki. How do I bring healing to an area of pain if part of me just does not want to accept there is any pain? How do I bring healing to an area of pain if a part of me just does not want to accept that there is any pain? So isn't that interesting? Because there's that juxtaposition of like knowing that there's stuff there, stuck stuff to work on, stuff that's ready to move, to be transmuted and healed. Yet there's another part of us that is resisting that change. So how do you deal with it? Well, this student here that wrote this question is attuned to Reiki. That means that they are in the process of learning Reiki and learning how to heal their lives with it. And what I would say to every student with regards to this is that you just show up when you can, when you feel guided on one hand, and also when you feel you're ready to. Reiki's never going to push us or force us to do anything, to experience anything that we are not ready to experience. And so your little willingness to listen to your guidance, and when your Reiki angels, when your higher self says, hey, sit down for 5 minutes, uncross your legs and lay your hands on yourself and do a mini Reiki healing, or set aside 20 minutes or an hour and do a full healing session, whatever it might be, your ability to show up, even though the pain doesn't want you to think it's real, is going to give you and create the correct conditions for Reiki to operate at its maximal healing. There's a divine balance here because we talk about the light body and the tar body here in a lot of the teachings I share. And the tar body is the toxic twin of your light body. So it's all of the toxins, mental, physical, emotional, from foods, from drugs, from medications, just all the unhealed trauma and drama that we carry with us in our energies, in our auric fields, in our bodies. And when those aspects are not allowed to be seen, are not allowed to be honored and transmuted, then they grow. That darkness grows, that heaviness grows, and it can even become a physical ailment. It can create all sorts of havoc in our minds, in our bodies, and our emotions, and not allowing us to be centered and aligned with our higher self, with our own sense of God, of love, of truth, of fierce alignment with spirit. So there's this divine interplay of like, we don't force ourselves. We never want to force ourselves to do Reiki on ourselves. Yet there's this balance of like knowing when your tar body is trying to talk you out of a healing, is trying to talk you out of writing in your journal or taking that nice bath to do self-care, trying to talk you out of your daily meditation, have a glass of wine or smoke a spliff instead, or it's doing its best to distract you so that you do not see and honor the pain for what it is. And the only way that that pain is going to be transmuted, is going to be healed, is going to be alchemated, and the only way that you're really going to truly be empowered and know thyself is by facing that. So there's that interplay of like, I know I'm in pain, but a part of me doesn't want to accept the pain. And that's a nice conversation. And that will just keep us running in circles like a dog chasing their tail. Eventually, you're going to get tired and you're going to have to turn around and suck it up and just say like, okay, pain, I see you. And you know what? You have fucking held me down for 35 years. Right? I know this student, they are going to be 60 years old this year. And so really for them, for their case, it's more like 50 plus years that this specific pain that I won't go into with you here, but pain is pain and pain is fear. And can you imagine carrying and harboring, whether it's 5 months, 5 years, 50 years of pain, to the point where you get used to living with that level of fear, level of pain, level of trauma, that scarring. And so you almost get used to having that affect in your aura, that thing, that story. Like me, I got very used to and safe being a victim. It served me up until it didn't serve me, up until I was ready to change it. And so like that, there's this interesting play of the tar body and the light body where it almost becomes comfortable. It almost feels safer to not heal your stuff and to just let it be a part of your truth and your reality, rather than turning around, facing the shadow down, and learning how to master up, learning how to be a master of your time and space, learning how to place love here, which is ultimately what we do with Reiki. We learn how to place love, extend love, and always with ourselves first. Always, the practice is always to learn how to heal thyself first. Know thyself first. Know thyself divine, as I say. And so it's a dance. It can be a dance. It doesn't have to be. But specific to this question with where you're at, it's a dance. And it's good that you're even asking this question, because you're paying attention. You're seeing the real deal. You're seeing what's going on. You're seeing this play of like, okay, I know there's pain, but there's also a part of me that wants to pretend like there's no pain. So that means I never have to do Reiki on myself, right? And it's like, no. Well, you don't have to do anything at all. Yet if you're seeking to heal your life, then yes, you do get to show up. Again, finding that sweet spot where you're not forcing yourself, like, I'm going to do Reiki, I'm going to heal this, and I'm going to make myself sit down and do a healing, right? That's not really the graceful means by which the Most High healing is achieved. We listen to our higher selves. We honor the divine guidance. You could be waiting for a job interview, and your higher self you could be sitting in the hallway with your resume on your lap. You're like 5 people in line, and your higher self could say, lay your hands on yourself, uncross your legs, and do 2 minutes of Reiki right now. And you're like, are you serious? I'm in the hall, I'm in the interview. And your higher self could be like, do it. You're like, okay, boom. That's the kind of thing that I'm talking about, where you meet it as your higher self says, hey, your Reiki angels say, now is a good time. And you're like, but I have to, and higher self will never guide you to do something that isn't going to flow. That's one thing you learn over time, is that it's always working in the divine synchronization of all good things in your life. And so don't worry about time and timing. Just allow yourself to listen, to honor, to pay attention, and to show up to the best of your ability as you're guided. And then let Reiki do the rest, because again, you don't heal the pain. You are just a willing participant in allowing that pain to be healed. You let Reiki do all the work. You just get to show up. And the intelligence, the intuitive, the wisdom, nature of nature that is love, that is Reiki, that frequency that is love and only love, that's the medicine that does the metaphysical multidimensional healing for us. So I pray that that serves you. And I thank you for your question. And thank you everyone for your questions. I love this community. Please subscribe if you love this. Once a month, I do our Q&A, Ask Me Anything. You can send in an email if it's a little more detailed. You can come back on the day and leave a comment. And I should know the dates. Let's see, because I had mentioned this earlier. What I'm going to start to do is I'm going to start to post on my YouTube channel the upcoming 4D Trinities. Because as you know, or you don't know if you're new, that every week I go live at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And at this show, 4D Trinity, we discuss all things spiritual, metaphysical, healing, spiritual growth, multidimensionality, learning to bring the invisible visible, learning to access parts of ourselves and learning to heal them so that we can live heaven on earth. We learn to create unity between the mind, the body, and the emotions, and create that divine alignment so that the experience of peace, the experience where we can just relax and actually have a good time day in and day out on this beautiful planet, becomes a reality, right? But there's a million little learning curves, or at least there can be, en route. And it has to do with meditation. It has to do with learning about energy, learning about what your vibration is, your energy. And that's all the kind of stuff that we discuss here at 4D Trinity. So thank you everyone for participating. And I will go in later this week and post what we're going to be doing. So our next live stream next Thursday is Live Like You're Gonna Die, Give It All Away, Give It All You Got. And then the one after that is Levity versus Gravity. The one after that is the Metaphysics of Willingness. And then after that, we will be back with our next Q&A. So I'm going to look at the calendar. Today is the 21st. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it'll be the 21st of March when we're back for Q&A. So I welcome you. I thank you. I bless you. May you have a beautiful, blessed day, everyone. Give me the thumbs up. Check out my other videos. I'm so very, very, very grateful. Thank you. Thank you, and namaste, everyone. Blessings for a beautiful day. Blessings, blessings, blessings.